Hi, David here from digiDirect. Today, I'm here to show you the latest model from Panasonic, the Lumix S5II. Initial impressions of the S5II is it's very similar to the S5I in both weight and feel and layout, although this one has a few extra things which we'll go through today. If you're worried about having to manually input all the custom changes from the S5I to the S5II, fortunately there's the Lumix Sync app. Connect the two cameras together and transfer all the changes from one model to the other. This also means that you're able to have multiple cameras running on the same sort of setup. The X5II is slightly heavier than the X5I. This is on account of the fact that this has a new inbuilt fan in it. This enables the camera to stay cool in temperatures of up to 40 degrees Celsius. This is honestly great when you're out and about on holidays or just outdoors on a very hot day. One of the new changes to this model is the HDMI port. This means you can plug this into any external monitor and get a better look at your footage. As a video camera, what's new about this one is it contains unlimited video recording. As with most hybrid cameras, you can shoot 29 minutes at most, but with this, provided you have batteries and memory in your camera, you can shoot for as long as you like. This is great when you want to do long-form interviews, events, or even vlogs. Speaking of battery, this new camera contains a USB-C power port. This means you can plug in a USB-C power supply and not have to worry about constantly swapping out camera batteries on the day. What can also be said is that the range of Lumix lenses are all roughly the same size, so you never notice a real drastic change in weight. If you want to put this on a gimbal or any sort of stabilizer, it's actually much more easier to manage and you won't have too much trouble when swapping out lenses. One of the best features on the Lumix S5II is the autofocus. Now typically I don't like to use autofocus on most cameras as it's generally choppy, laggy, and all around unreliable. But this is perhaps the best autofocus I've seen on any camera since, well, ever. So as you can see here, the focus pulling is actually quite quick to react. This is despite all the movement going on in the background. There's also little to no focus breathing, so more of the image is actually maintained. This camera, it shoots in a 3:2 aspect ratio. The camera can make full use of the sensor, which means you're able to crop into other aspect ratios while still maintaining the quality of the image. And if you're unsure while shooting if your image will fit a certain aspect ratio, there is an option to put a frame marker up on the screen to check just that. One of the significant upgrades in this camera is its active IS. That's its inbuilt stabilization. Now most cameras nowadays do have an inbuilt stabilization, but what's great about this camera is it's much smoother and you don't necessarily require your lens to have an inbuilt stabilization to make the most of it. Another fantastic feature about this camera that brings it to the next level is the RealTime Lut Recording. Now a LUT is basically a preset grade or filter on your camera. But what's interesting about this camera is you're able to upload your own LUTs into the camera. This is an amazing camera. It's got the inbuilt stabilization, a fantastic autofocus, and the option for LUTs. It just saves you so much time in post and is an incredibly reliable camera for when you're out and about.